Hello, everybody. We know who the Broncos' playoff opponent is. We know they're playing on Saturday, and that's all we know right now. Joining me to break it all down in this special edition of Mile High After Party, where we're not reacting to a Broncos game, but rather a Broncos game being somewhat mostly scheduled. We've got Michael Carmelini of Mile High Monsters, and we've got David Talks Broncos / David Talks Buffs over on my right. Fellas, I'll start with you, David. What's your instant, and we'll get into the nitty gritty, but what's your just instant reaction to Broncos versus Bills coming to us on Saturday?
Man, between the Chargers and the Bills, it wasn't going to be great, but this is an opportunity for us to show that we are a much better team than last year. This is an awesome opportunity to get our revenge for the thrashing the Bills put against us last year. So if we can't get it done, I mean, you should beat the best, right, to go to the Super Bowl. I think Josh Allen's the best quarterback remaining in the AFC. So, yeah, let's cut the head off the dragon. And if we can win this Saturday, hey, you definitely can win one more game to go to the Super Bowl. So I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I think this team is going to come more prepared this time. I think we're better equipped to deal with the Bills than we were last year.
Mike, where are you at in the immediate aftermath of that game? Or I guess that game being scheduled.
Yeah, I'm with David. Last year, even during that game at Highmark Stadium, Sean Payton was looking around. He said he was sitting there thinking, we need to get this game in Denver next year. Or we need to find a way to play this game at home, is what he said, was the quote. And here we are. He got what he wanted. I can't root for the Chargers, guys. So you know what? Screw the Chargers. See you later. Sorry, Justin Herbert. My wife and I were trying to think of nicknames like Sherbert because he melts in the playoffs or something. We were trying, right? I mean, but we didn't have a chance. But we'll work on that. So I guess my overall thoughts is the Chargers would have probably been an easier opponent. But David's right. I hate this old saying, but it's true. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. I think the Bills are the best team left in the playoffs, except for maybe the Broncos. We'll find out. And so if we get past the Bills, Zach, I think we can beat whoever comes out of that Pats, Steelers / Texans game. So I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, I worry about the teams on the NFC side of the bracket, but I'd feel pretty good if you beat the Bills about making it to that Super Bowl. Certainly. And I think your point about getting them in Denver is a big one. They keep having to play them in Buffalo, getting them. When was the last time they played them in Denver? Now that I think about it, has Josh Allen
blew us out. They blew us out.
Oh, that's why.
But it was like 2020 or 2021, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't this team.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then if Drew Lock was playing, I mean, that we should just add 20 points to the Broncos' final score. But I feel fairly similarly. I want I don't want people calling it like a Mickey Mouse run or whatever. Now, I do think it would have been better. They would have been better off playing the Chargers. That's an easier path than the Bills. That team, like you saw how the Patriots, who are a pretty middling defense, shut down that offense completely tonight. I think you would have seen the same thing if the Broncos played them. So it was a nice matchup, but you got to beat the best if you're going to win the Super Bowl. You're going to have to face some good quarterbacks along the way. And I also will say, I don't think the Bills are like, I do think it's worst case scenario. This will tee me up to my next thing. But I also am not that concerned about it. I think the scale of like who's the toughest opponent the Broncos could have had, which I think is either the Bills or maybe the Texans, and an easier opponent like the Chargers, I think is very minimal. The Steelers would have been a cakewalk, but the other three teams I felt were all in a pretty similar cluster. And so while I do think this is, maybe worst case scenario. I'm also not that worried about, like, this Bills team is a lot more gettable than last year's Bills team. Last year's Bills team was at the top of the NFL. This year's Bills team has like a great run game, but Josh Allen, frankly, like, he's been good and he was amazing today, but hasn't been up to his typical standards. He's now more beat up than he was. So Mike, I guess I'll tee this up to you. Is this draw, I guess we'll say, the worst case scenario for the Broncos, or is there a different opponent you were hoping to avoid?
I think it's up there. I think this is probably the worst draw out that we could have got out of this round. I didn't have a whole lot of confidence in the Texans, although I think they're a great defense. I think our defense probably would have balanced that out, and then being at home, I wouldn't be too worried about any of those other teams, the Chargers or the Steelers. I think this is nice. I like that the Bills took care of the Jaguars, who looked like a really good team in a loss to the Bills today. The Bills, took out a good team for us, so we don't have to. So in that respect, and I agree with what you said too. This isn't the same Bills team and the Broncos aren't the same Broncos team the last time we met in the playoffs. So certainly it's going to be a tough opponent. It's probably the harder matchup for me, but it's not, like you said, like the difference between the hardest matchup and maybe the third hardest matchup really isn't that much for me, Zach.
Yeah, David, what do you think?
Well, I think, like, offensively, I think that the Broncos can have more success against the Bills than, like, what I was worried about was against the Chargers, because it just seems like they have our number facing their defense. So I'm glad that we won't have to deal with Jesse Minter. On the flip side, though, again, quarterback play means everything, especially in the playoffs. And so, yeah, Josh Allen, he's the best one left. So hopefully, man, we can really get after him. What was key to their comeback today was, I mean, those big chunk plays in the fourth quarter. I think they had, to 2 or 3 different plays on those final 2 touchdown drives that went for well over like 20 yards.
Yeah.
They were substantial. We tend to give up the big play, every now and then. And so that's really going to be something that I'm looking forward to, but to see if we can stop. But I think we're much better built for the challenge. But I will say, I think the greater gambling world or NFL media, they still see us as frauds. So maybe being home dogs coming into this game on Saturday will, help this team lock in just that extra % or so after taking a week off.
I think you're dead on, David. I trust this team more as an underdog than as a favorite this year.
Yeah.
They've let me down too much as a favorite, playing down to their opponent and whatnot. The opening line that I can find, to the point you're making, has the Bills opening as 1.5-point favorites.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me.
And I think that's about right. This to me feels like a toss-up game. I think I like the Broncos in this one, but it's going to be an interesting matchup for sure. The Bills, I think, just present a lot of interesting problems to the Broncos. It does seem like a bit of a I don't know, weird matchup. Would you guys have, or I guess we kind of got into that, but would you have rather seen the Chargers? Because it came down to this game, obviously, with, Chargers win, the Broncos are going to play them. Patriots win, they play the Bills. Obviously, the Patriots win. Would you have rather, I guess, to the point you're saying, David, seen the Chargers? Yes, their defense would have struggled, or their defense would have given the Broncos offense a hard time, but we've also seen their offense struggle as of late. Overall, would you have preferred the Chargers matchup, or are you kind of glad they got the Bills?
I've kind of flipped on this over the last couple of weeks or so, like with all this talk. But I think I will take not seeing a divisional opponent for the 3rd time in a season. Like I will take that. So let's see what we can do against the Bills. I don't think it's ever ideal to go against a division rival in the playoffs. So I know playoff Herbie. I know he's always struggling, but again, that's just something I wasn't really too interested in seeing. And hey, on the positive note, if we're able to beat the Bills and Josh Allen, man, I wonder what people are gonna have to say about Bo Nix after that. So there's really a big opportunity here to maybe rewrite some of those narratives that were kind of solidified about this offense maybe the first couple months into the season.
Well, with the Chargers losing and Justin Herbert doing absolutely nothing on offense today, if Bo Nix does anything, like even if the Broncos lose, if he throws like a couple touchdowns or whatever, he's going to look like a better postseason performer than Justin Herbert, which will be some nice trash talk ammunition for Broncos country going forward. I know. I'm kind of with you guys. I think it might have been a little better, but I will say I think you make good points, David, about them maybe flip-flopping. I'm a little worried about this Broncos Bills matchup, kind of what I was alluding to earlier. I think they present some interesting problems for the Broncos on a matchup side of things, but I'll tag my thoughts on at the end here. Mike, how are you feeling about this Broncos Chargers matchup?
I'm with. I think it would have certainly been. I would be more confident in a win if we were playing
Bills matchup. I'm sorry.
Well, I didn't answer the first question, so I was answering the Chargers question anyway. I'll answer both.
No, sorry, Broncos Bills. How do you feel about the Broncos Bills matchup? I'm sorry, guys. I had Broncos Chargers on the brain.
Yeah, this is a game that, in my mind, can go either way for the Broncos. I'm not gonna if I try and put on my neutral hat and cover my glorious hair. If I did that, I would say this is gonna be a coin flip kind of game. It could go either way. This last game against the Jags, Josh Allen played kind of a Bo Nix game. He had, what was it? Yeah, this line 20 to 35 for 273 yards. Like, had it not been for those late fourth quarter antics that he did, that David referred to earlier, he was averaging like Bo Nix numbers per pass, throwing very short passes. They were coming after him. That was a really physical game, by the way. The Jags were beating the hell out of those guys. So I feel if we can get in that kind of game with them where we can hit Josh, keep it close in the fourth, I'd be confident that Bo and the defense will pull it out like they normally do. One thing I want to bring up, though, we lost 3 games this year, right? 2 of those games were to the Jags and to the Chargers, and they're both out of the playoffs. So that's kind of nice. Like, okay, 2 of those guys are gone. Let's see what the Bills have. They haven't played us this year. Zach, by the time we're on later this week, David, you and me on Wednesday, I'll probably be like uber confident that we're going to find a way to win this game. Sitting here right now, I don't know. It depends on how I think about it. I think it's going to be a tough win, but I think they can do it.
And I think they've struggled against teams that have some similarities with the Broncos. The Falcons stick out as a team that upset the Bills, gave them a really hard time, beat them 24-14. And that Falcons pass rush was much improved this year and really gave Josh Allen a lot of trouble. The Texans game, of course, where they got just absolutely smothered and crushed by that defense. The Eagles loss recently was another one where I think you felt that defense kind of suffocate the Bills passing attack. And I think we could see the Broncos do something similar. David, how are you feeling about this matchup with the Bills and how the Broncos square up?
Yeah, well, I feel good about our pass rush. I really do. I feel like defensively, like, what was the storyline going into last year's game against them in the wild card round is like, can we keep up? I think right now, man, like this will be a lower scoring game than what we saw last year. I think that our secondary matches up with their receiving options very well. But the key is James Cook.
I know.
The key is James Cook. If Dre Greenlaw, I think they're expecting him to play. I mean, this is why you bring in Dre Greenlaw to help with that. But now are the playoffs. You cannot allow the Buffalo Bills to do whatever they're doing to get single matchups. James Cook against Alex Singleton. You can't let it happen. If that might be the game, Justin Sternad has to play more in this game. If we get more Justin Sternad and Dre Greenlaw in this game, I feel very good about our ability to limit what James Cook can do.
What about Brandon Jones being out, though?
See that? Yeah.
That kind of counterbalances that. I mean, but they got injuries too. I mean, we're going to get into all that during the week. I know Zach will get into this on Let's Talk Broncos on his show, and David, you and I, and you'll be getting into it probably like 5 times this week because you're a monster, you're an animal. But I mean, there's a lot to look at there because to your point though, David, you're right. They're going to get those chunk plays, and Vance is going to allow that to try and keep it. He does it every week. He's gonna go after Josh.
Yeah.
Try and sack him, and then try and keep everything in front of him. And if Josh can make those plays, he'll let him, and then hope that we can beat him in the red zone. Hold him to field goals. That'll be the plan. Sean will be fine with it. Hold them to field goals. We get touchdowns. We win the game. They're gonna get those chunk yards. I don't know how you scheme around, and maybe Zach knows, maybe you guys know, but I don't know how you Zach around somebody or Zach around. How you scheme around Singleton. Like, I don't know how you do that. Like, I love what you're saying. If we can you put Greenlaw and
yes.
Can you?
I don't know why they
not has a green dot too.
Okay, so then put them out there.
Yeah, there's no reason
not?
why they haven't. I think it's very valid to critique Vance Joseph for this. It's been all about like getting Dre Greenlaw up to speed or whatever is what he keeps saying. At this point, it's the playoffs. Like, if Greenlaw can't play, that's obviously different. But if he's active on Sunday, or I guess it'll be Saturday, if he's active to go on Saturday, we should see very little Alex Singleton. I think it's like a leadership component with Alex Singleton. I think they like the vibe he brings, but he's a huge weight on this team in coverage. Now, I will say, you guys are kind of highlighting that concern. I'm also worried about James Cook, but I'm worried about the run game element more so than like what he might do to PJ Locke or Alex Singleton in coverage. And he can catch the ball. I'm worried about what he can do as a rusher. I'm trying to find stats for today's game. I couldn't find them quick enough, but
for James Cook,
how many rushing?
Yeah, they destroyed James Cook today. He had 15 carries for 46 yards.
Okay, I thought so. So that means in games where he has less than 100 rushing yards, the Bills are 5-4 this year.
Wow.
In games when he has more than 100, actually more than 90, we could draw the line at 90. So less than 90 yards, they're 5-4. More than 90 yards, they are 5. They're 8-1.
Wow.
So, like, obviously, that's a huge disparity. The Broncos defense, I think, hasn't really been tested. And the additions of Hufanga and Greenlaw were to address this and hypothetically fixed it. But I don't think we've seen them go against the type of physical ground games that really gave the Broncos a hard time in 2024. You know, we saw the Ravens, run all over this team. We saw the playoffs run all over this team. And, like mashing huge, powerful offensive line like the Bills have with a talented running back like James Cook, maybe the Eagles, but they were kind of beat up and Saquon hasn't been himself all season, would be like the closest thing the Broncos have had to facing that. Cam Scadaboo, maybe, which again, these are like pale comparisons. And Scadaboo had a pretty good game against the Broncos. So they've been a good run defense. I actually got the stats on this. They're 7th since week 10.
Okay.
They're 7th in the NFL in EPA per rush allowed. They're 5th in rushing success rate. So they're a legit good run defense over the last pretty much since the bye. I did the second half of the season, but that's pretty much, I guess, since the Raiders game, first Raiders game. Good run defense. I don't think they've played this type of run game. If they can maintain that quality run defense we've seen over really the entirety of the season, but especially the second half, I feel great about their chances to win this one. If James Cook and the Bills are able to make this their style of game, where they're leaning on the run, leaning on the Broncos, I worry about the Broncos' ability to play that type of game. They want to air it out. I think the Broncos can hang with that and cause them some problems with their pass rush, but I'm worried about the Bills trying to grind this one out. David and I kind of listed a major concern in this one.
Yeah.
What is a concern you're watching for in this one, Mike?
I noticed if you were watching these games out there, everybody, you saw jerseys with number 10s on them and a number 17. The quarterbacks were running all over the place. Now's the time to let Bo. I mean, Drake May kind of just took over that game with his legs. Josh Allen certainly did. I saw a lot of running quarterbacks. Now's the time to take chances with your starting quarterback, and Bo is one of those guys that can do that. On the flip side, to answer your question, my concern is the exact opposite of that. I mean, I think if we're getting healthy at the right time, including our defensive line and our linebacking core, hopefully. So if we can hang on to James Cook, we don't do a good job of corralling quarterbacks when they take off. Like, can we get a spy on this guy? Can we put a spy on Josh Allen and at least keep him from running 25 yards whenever he wants to? That's what scares me. His ability to take over a game and do his Superman thing. He's inevitable. When he does that, he's just kind of gonna do it. And so I think we're gonna have to weather the storm, because that storm is going to come late in that game. The good thing for the Broncos is Bo's a fourth quarter quarterback, and Sean is not going to hold anything back in this game. We may see Bo running all over the place too. So it's a concern. I think the two teams are going to try and go after each other very similarly in this game in a lot of ways. I think they're going to try and do kind of the same game plan. I just think the Bills are a little better equipped to do it with James Cook than we are with our running backs, but I still think that we're both going to try and do the same thing.
Yeah, I like that point. That'll kind of.
Is there any hope to JK at least being active for this game?
I think there's hope. I don't know how confident I'd be. I'm not expecting it. I think the expectation is he won't be ready, and it'll have to wait till the AFC Championship. But I definitely wouldn't rule it out. But I think it'd be a surprise, a pleasant surprise.
It's a Liz Frank, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You to get surgery on it and everything. It's
that's the thing, man. For a running back.
Yeah.
Man, glue that shit up. Let's go. Sorry. Yeah. We need you. Glue it. I don't care what it takes. This is the playoffs, JK. We need you back.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a big one for the Broncos, whether or not they have him back. I think that's pretty darn crucial.
The chat sure wants JK back. Thanks everybody in the chat. You guys are doing awesome tonight.
Yeah, shout out to the chat. It is live for even a day where the Broncos didn't play. Kind of teased me up talking about the run game. For a thing I feel confident about, I feel good about the Broncos run game attacking this Bills run defense. Yes, the Broncos rushing attack hasn't been great, but as underwhelming as they've been, it's been nowhere near as bad as the Bills run defense. So again, I'll use like week 10. I should have done week 11, honestly, with JK. But really quick, that rushing attack with just RJ Harvey and Jaleel McLaughlin running it. I just redid the numbers really quick. RJ
should start.
Or Jaleel should start.
I mean, Jaleel should start. I mean, he's averaging over 5 yards a carry. We've got enough sample size to know that he can do it.
I like RJ in the passing game, but I fully agree with you. He needs to be running it. But so since week 11, they're 20th in EPA per rush, the Broncos offense here, and they are 9th in rushing success rate. So they're actually doing a pretty good job of like staying ahead of the sticks with their run game. Shockingly, it does not feel that way when you're watching it, but they're actually doing a pretty good job of staying ahead of the sticks. They're not having enough explosives, but that should come through against this Bills defense over that same span. So since week 11, they're a bottom 3 run defense, and they're like neck and neck with the Lions for that second to worst spot. Giants are worst in the league, but they're absolutely dreadful against the run. And then rushing success rate, so that down to down ability to stop the run, they're 24th, allowing a successful run 44% of the time. So I actually think the Broncos will be able to run the ball pretty effectively against this Bills defense. And I think that's going to create a lot of problems for them, because I think if you can take this out of Bo Nix's hands and let him just honestly like be a game manager, just like pick your spots and have him hopefully execute those spots, those 3rd and longs, whatever, at a high level, I think the Broncos will win this game. I think if you try and get into a quarterback-led shootout with Josh Allen, it might get a little dicey. David, what's an element of this matchup you feel confident about?
I'm really glad you're bringing this up, because one thing I feel like that we've just been doing so well has been sustaining long drives. And, we've built this team to beat the Chiefs, and in doing so, we've hopefully also built it to beat the Bills. You need to limit the possessions of Patrick Mahomes, and in this case, Josh Allen. So, yes, like let's have 3-4 drives of over 8 minutes. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Let's work the short passing game. I know that there's some talk in here. Maybe Pat Bryant's involved a little bit more. We'll have to see. But I know that we've talked about Sean is saving stuff, for these matchups, and maybe that's the case in the red zone, because we have to finish in the red zone. Like, that will probably tell the story of if we win or lose this game. If the Broncos win or lose this game, is their success rate in the red zone this game. And maybe Sean has some different looks and plays that haven't been put on film for that yet. But I think the essence of this offense will probably, guys, still look the same with what it's looked like pretty much all season long. And, if the Broncos fall down behind, man, you will air that thing out. But if it's a close game, you're going to see the Broncos play the time of possession game. And I think that that's probably the way that you beat the Bills, is by winning time of possession, limiting possessions, and taking points when you have the opportunity to take points. I don't want Sean to get greedy doing any of this risky 4th down stuff in midfield, especially at home. No, take points when you can get points.
I like it. Mike, what's an element of this matchup you feel confident in?
Yeah, first of all, bad weekend for going forward on 4th in a lot of ways, and not taking points. And kind of a bad weekend for some kickers out there too, some that we know very well. But I would go coaching here, Zach. Yeah. What'd you say?
I said bum, but that wasn't directed at you. That was directed at
Nick Anus,
horrific person.
And no one deserved it more than McAnus. So, and even what's his name? Little. Small market kickers, man. I tweeted that out. It was
that was a ball don't lie moment, man.
Yeah, I would have said that, but when I opened up my Twitter, there were like 15 tweets that said ball don't lie, and I was like, okay, well, everybody's already tweeting that, so I just tweeted small market kickers. But coaching, man, Sean McDermott versus Sean Payton. I trust Sean Payton 10 times more than I trust. Yeah, I mean, he's just. I think if the Bills had lost to the Jaguars, I think that they would seriously be talking in Jacksonville about whether they want to keep Sean McDermott. That's not based on information, but that's.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah.
He, like, his whole thing, his identity has been either using
Blowing
Al-Qaeda
games.
for motivational material,
Ugh.
or blowing or having his defense totally collapse in the playoffs. It's every single year. And this year they just haven't been great generally, but every single year they go from being a top 10ish defense during the regular season to being abhorrent in the postseason. Like, everyone remembers the 13 seconds game, and I think it's because he calls a fairly bland defense with just it's a fairly bland shell defense. And those zone heavy defenses have given Bo Nix a bit of a hard time, but this isn't Jesse Minter. This isn't D'Amico Ryans. This isn't actually, that's D'Amico Ryans is a bad example. He's really stagnant. They just got crazy ballers. But this is like a D'Amico Ryans defense, but without the crazy talent. Pretty lackluster talent. There's more disguise than that Texas defense, but it's going to be more simplistic than I think a lot of the defenses that have given Bo a hard time. So yeah, I just the coaching matchup in this one is one of the things I feel like is most disparate between the two teams.
And before you go on, Zach, I just want to point out, I just want to thank all our viewers. Right now, we have over 700 people watching. Denver 104.3 has 500 watching, and Altitude Radio has 400 watching. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in and checking us out. We really do appreciate it.
Ridiculous. Thank you all for your support. It means a lot to us. And let's wrap it up quick with some predictions, but to keep
around for predictions. Come on.
I'm going to make you guys do predictions, but I'm going to keep it pretty open-ended for you guys. But just to keep people around before I get into the predictions, David, do you want to do your business?
Oh yes. Let's get to the business, guys, because the Broncos going to have some great odds on this game because everyone's going to doubt us. But we're at home, baby. Kalshi, there we go. Use the promo code DTB. Links in the description. You can get a $10 bonus when you deposit $10 over there. Throw it on the Broncos beating the Bills. That's what I'm going to do. That's I'm not lying to you guys, and we'll make the pick later on the show on David Talks Broncos. It's going to be fun. So even if hey, you're not ready to do it, sign up. Link is in the description. Use that code DTB. It goes to help the channel tremendously. So thank you to Kalshi for sponsoring the channel, and thank you to my good friends for allowing me to still shout them out on here in this collab. So thank you guys so much. Kalshi is wonderful, and you get the best odds over there too because it's all peer-to-peer. Thank you.
I like it. Now, time for predictions, Mike. I hope you were thinking while David was talking. I'm not going to make you predict the score. I'm just going to ask you to predict something about this game. If you want it to be the score, if you want it to be who wins, more power to you. Just give me, because I don't know how you guys want to do your pregame material during the week, and I don't want to step on it. So
don't worry about it. Yeah.
Prediction to this game, whatever you desire.
Well, okay. So since my mother's watching and she's the best mom in the world, yours, except yours, of course, but my mom, I am going to predict the game because she's going to want me to. So the Broncos are going to win this game. It is not going to be a one-score game. We are going to win by more than one score. I'm calling it right here. Dave and I will get into it. I will tell you why on the show on Wednesday, but I am going to make that prediction. I'll get into scores and whys later. But we're gonna win the game, guys. Get ready for it. Broncos are going on. They're going to move on.
That is a pretty lofty.
I am a fan-friendly guy, Zach. Let's go.
Hey man, I got nothing but respect for it. David, what is your prediction?
Well, Broncos win, obviously. Right, I just gave that away. I mean, dude, we're at home. We didn't work this hard. We've only lost 3 games all year, all right? And usually when we play these good opponents, we get up to them. I mean, what were our 3 losses against? The Chargers, the Colts, and the Jaguars. Nah, we get up for the good teams, and we beat them. So I'm expecting the Broncos to get a win, especially being at home. Prediction for the game? 5 sacks. 5 sacks, baby. I'm going hot take. Jonathan Cooper and Nick Bonito, they gotta show up big in this game, man.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. So if we can get to Josh Allen, man, a lot easier said than done. But this defense is equipped to do it. I believe they can.
I like when he whispers into the mic. It's so cool.
I like it. The dulcet tones of
Yes.
Sports.
Yeah.
Everyone go support Mile High Monsters and David Talk Sports, by the way. If you're watching us on one of their channels, support me over at Let's Talk Broncos. We appreciate the support a whole lot. I got a stat for you guys that I just conjured up really quick here that I think you'll like.
That's why they pay you the big bucks.
Sean Payton on off postseason buys. So his team has earned the bye to the divisional round or the time he made it to the Super Bowl, right? Because you get that bye week before the game. Sean Payton off a postseason bye, 4-0 in his careers.
Let's go.
Career. He's gotten it 4 times, won every time he beat the Eagles, most recently in 2018 by a score of 20-14. I'm just trying to go through these really quick. In 2009, he beat the Cardinals 45-15 and the Colts 31-17. And in 2006, he beat the Eagles also 27-24 off the bye. So watch out, man. The dude is a menace off the bye. I think you definitely give the advantage to him over Sean McDermott. You guys picked the game, so I will too. I won't be lame. My initial inkling, this won't be my official pick for the LTB graphic or whatever. My initial inkling on this one, I do like the Broncos off the bye. I think this Bills team is flawed. They had a good game today, but I do feel like Broncos 23-16 feels right.
Oh,
Off the top of my head. And I'm going to say, as a prediction, Bo Nix will finish the game with more career playoff touchdowns than Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's currently at 2. Bo Nix is at 1. That would mean he needs 2 touchdowns. I think he'll get that done.
Wow. Love it.
If we get J.K. Dobbins back, we win by 20.
If they get Dobbins back, I'm going to start feeling too confident about this game. That's when I'm going to start getting nervous if they get Dobbins back, because then I'm going to be too confident.
I'm going to be nervous either way.
My cat is going crazy. Excuse me. Fellas, anything you want to say before we close this out here? Sorry, I know we went a little
long. I think
good?
That
perfect.
Yeah, Bills, we saw this happen on Saturday, man. We saw it happen. The Packers, they've been through all these playoff disappointments. You would think this year it might be able to be the year. Now, I know they kind of limped into the playoffs. Here's the deal, man. There are some franchises who just get it done, and there are franchises who don't. Buffalo is one of those franchises who do not. Denver, let's finish the business at home. Come on now. But, man, there's some cursed franchises out there. And if Josh Allen can't win it this year, I don't know if he's ever going to win it.
Yeah.
We'll see. That's bad news for Sell the Way Ahead. Mike, what were you going to say? And then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, I'm just think we're in a great position to be playing at home. I think it's an exciting time to be a Broncos fan, and I appreciate all the Bills fans in the chat getting us our views. We appreciate you, and best of luck to you. I'm a Josh Allen fan, so it's not nobody here is dissing Josh Allen. I think it's crazy
I got a lot of money on
the reactions that people have. Yeah, I would bet on Josh Allen 7 days out of 7 days, but not this time. This is our year, hopefully, and I'm excited. I'm excited to be on the show. I'm excited to see the turnout for a show where we didn't even have a Broncos game. So just shout out to Zach for putting this together for us, and Let's Talk Broncos for hosting. We David and I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Glad to see McManus lose. Successful McManus hate watch.
Yes.
Successful. Hey, guys, just Google why did the Washington Commanders cut Brandon McManus? If you want a little more information as to why you should root against, or search Brandon McManus charity scandal. I think that would also send you down the right path.
Yeah, that'll get it for you.
That's my thing. I think just rule of thumb, if you've got a charity scandal and a couple legitimate accusations against you of some misconduct, bad dude in my book. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's enough to just be like, I don't want to hang out with that guy. I don't want to wish him well. So glad to see that Packers Bears game went the way it did. I was rooting for the Packers, but if they were going to lose,
I was too.
I'm glad they lost that way. That's why I thought everybody go support Mile High Monsters, mic'd up. Go support David Talks Broncos and David Talks Buffs. The Buffs are killing the portal right now. Until next time, everybody. See ya.
Yeah.
Go Broncos.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Kill Bill.